Gemini, welcome to your 5-card movie star spread. I did a quick read upload on Friday because I was pressed for time, so I'm going to do the full reading today. Also, I've updated the playlist. If you go to the playlist and you look up your astrological sign, it has the most recent, so the last read I did moving backward. So if you missed last week's read or you wanted to look up an older reading that resonated with you, that's just kind of a easier way to do it. Just go right to your sign on the playlist. Gemini, you are feeling much better about your environment than weeks past. You feel like you have, so you have both the King and the Queen of Pentacles here. Okay, so this is in the overall. And then this is you. This is the protagonist. So you feel like you are managing your resources better than ever. So whatever resources you were having difficulty with before, so be it your health, your wealth, your time management, or how you leverage your network, you feel like your resources are better than they've ever been. Almost to the point where you can assist others with theirs if that's what you chose to do. Now, in the Antagonist, it shows you coming out of stress and anxiety. Those that waking up in the middle of the night because you didn't feel like you didn't feel that sense of security in order to get a full night's sleep. You know, the anxiety, the mind constantly working, waking up to every little noise. That's gone. That's behind you now. You're sleeping better. You're eating better. You're feeling better. Now, the Kings manage the environment, so you recognize you're managing your resources better. But there is still work to do, okay? You haven't mastered the resources. You're just managing them better in the past, which is giving you better sleep, which is giving you better health. And now you can create growth. You can create the environment for those resources to bloom. And ultimately, if you take this one step at a time, you feel like you'll be successful in reworking how it is that you deal with your health, your money, your time management, and how you leverage your network. Because ultimately, you see new growth on the horizon. Now, I often say in my channel, whenever we get aces, the aces are potential energy. So it's high potential, low resolution, meaning it still has to be processed through a framework in order for you to capitalize on this energy that you have. The wands are about passions. They're about responsibility, and ultimately they're about new growth. So what you're doing now is you're focusing on growing your resources. You feel like you got it. You have a strategy, a plan, or a purpose, which you haven't really had for a while, which is what was causing you that anxiety and stress. And you're now coming out of that, and you feel like you're going to be very successful in this. Yeah, here we go. So you spent a lot of time contemplating and resting and thinking about what needed to be done, but you also thought about the things in the past that didn't necessarily work out in your favor. Okay? So there was a lot of reflection in your past energy. You took stock of and now recognize your burden of responsibility. Each one of these passions, each one of these ideas, each individualized new growth or purpose that you're working towards requires a certain amount of maintenance. And it can be overbearing at sometimes, but you're getting to the point where, yes, you're managing it, but you realize that there might be a better way to do so. And you're actually strategizing on that. You're reflecting on it. You're thinking about it. And you're collaborating with other people for assistance. You're delegating. You're asking for help. These are all good things. Ooh. However, now, like I said, these are all good things, so don't let this one thing, it's very important not to lean, because the Nine of Cups in the inverse can sometimes represent codependency as far as emotions are concerned. So even though you are managing your responsibilities, those burdens of responsibility, you're managing them better and you're collaborating with people for assistance, this is the card that warns you not to have all of your emotions ride on just one person or one other thing. Don't take all of your emotions and pour it into one person, because if you pour, I don't want to say one person. What am I trying to say here? If you lean on or rely on one person too much, if you expect them to bring you happiness, you really don't have control over their actions. So what if they don't bring you the outcome that you're looking for? Okay. So although it's good to get advice from people, although it's good to ask friends for help sometimes, don't put everything you have into just one person, because ultimately that person has their own burdens of responsibility. Okay. So recognize that if you lean on one person for one thing, go ahead and ask another person for another thing if you really need your friends to help you in a situation. Don't get all your answers from one single source, is what I'm trying to say. It's a little bit of a warning there, and I hope that makes sense. But ultimately, Gemini, you're feeling a lot better about how you're balancing your resources and how you're balancing your responsibilities. I hope you found a message that serves your highest good, and I'll see you next week.